What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry about the delay here. I was just getting a few things ready. I had to get make sure my mic was working and all that sort of thing. And I also just wanted to make sure, everything was good because it's been a while since I've live streamed. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next Ask DanQ. It's been, well, a long time. The last one I did was last year. I want to say sometime in the summer. Like maybe I don't know, June or something like that, or July. I don't know, man. But all I know is it's good to be back, and I can't wait to answer some of your guys' questions. So because there's a bit of a delay when it comes to what's coming out, like what's playing and things like that. What I am posting doesn't get to you for a bit. So I'm gonna let the questions kind of populate for a bit, and we'll basically go from there. So let's just wait. Let's just wait for a minute here, okay? We'll just bear with me as we get into this, and we'll get started. I'm just gonna none of my business, you guys, right now. Just kidding. All right, cool. Sorry, I'm just I'm sorry, that's funny. Is this gonna be an Ask Dan or an Ask Vulber? Bit of a nut shot there. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna start answering some questions now. So sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. 720p, damn you. Anyway, I'm gonna kind of roll up here and start where it starts. Kind of where the questions kind of start. A lot of hellos. Hi, everybody. I already said it, but hello, everybody. How's it going? How's life? Happy Saturday to you. All right, let's start this off. Oh, this is a great question. Actually, well, it's not really a great question, but it is a great question. I just want to answer it. Okay. This question, Dan, will you be getting more tattoos? And if so, what will you be getting? Actually, I am booked in for February 19th for the first edition. I am actually getting a full arm sleeve on my left arm here, and it's going to be a dark side theme sleeve. So basically, you're going to have Vader on there, you're going to have the Emperor on there, you're going to have maybe some stormtroopers on there, and Boba Fett is going to be on there as well. I mentioned I wanted to do this a while ago, but I just never found time. I just wanted to make sure that's what I really, really wanted. And over the months and years that I've been kind of thinking about it, I'm like, yes, I really want this. So it'll be the first session, and it's going to start all the way up here and work our way down. And it's going to be a shaded sleeve, so it's not going to be color. It's just going to be nice, kind of a bit of black and a bit of gray. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of huge, colorful sleeves because you can't hide them as well when you need to. So when it comes down to it, I'm it's going to be all shaded, and it kind of suits the theme of the sleeve as well. There are more that I want to get as well. Like I really like the Alien franchise. I'm sure a lot of people know that. So I kind of want to get an Alien tattoo, maybe maybe a Xenomorph battling Ripley or something like that. But I don't know where I would put it. I don't want to put it in stupid places. I'm not a person who really wants to get their stomach done or anything like that, or their back. I don't think I'd put it on the back. If it was on my back, it'd be on my shoulder blade, one of the shoulder blades or something like that, or maybe an ankle, because those things age the best. Arms seem to age the best. Ankles age fine. But when you put them on your thighs or your back, things start sagging when you get really old, and that kind of causes problems. So, yeah, that's my current plan. I mean, I only have two at the moment. This was my first one right here. It's just my last name, and then I got the Portal logo on my wrist here. Kind of the spur of the moment, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I kind of want that, so I just went ahead and did that. But yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna be fun. Like I'm gonna be pretty tattooed up when all is said and done. So anyway, excuse me. All right, hey Dan, do more WWE 2K. Okay, it's a good thing that I got a good chunk of you guys here. I'm gonna kind of explain it. 2K games have endings. I know. And I said, maybe I could come back and do some exhibition matches or whatever. But I don't know, man. I played the hell out of 2K, and my career mode just was so boring. And I went to my buddy, and my buddy's like, I asked my buddy. He's been my friend since 4th grade, And he has the game too. Him and I grew up together basically watching Attitude Era. You know, him and I, we just always watched wrestling together. You know, we would take his little brother who at the time was like we would have been like 12 or 11 or 10 even. And his brother was like maybe 3. And it was so funny because we just be giving him rock bottoms and 3Ds and all sorts of things. And he loved it. His little brother loved it. It was so funny, man. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He loves WWE games. Like, I remember going to his house when I was a kid because I didn't have as many games as he did. And he had all these WWE games. We played the living hell out of them. So he told me, he's like, yo, bro, I could barely touch 2K in my career. Too boring. So I get what he's talking about, and that's just it. I don't want to be too bored. I went over to his house the other day, actually, and I went to play, and we're like, there's like no options. You know what I mean? So you say you want to do a tag team, what is it? A tag team Hell in a Cell? No, not Hell in a Cell. Tag team ladder match we were trying to do. They don't have it because they did it in this game and the last game. I thought they'd fix it for last game, but they limited what kind of games you could actually play, and I'm baffled. So it's frustrating as hell, but I don't know. I mean, I could maybe go back, but I'm not sure if that's really in the cards at the moment, because the thing is, by the time I figure out if I'm going back or not, the new one will be out. You know what I mean? It'll already be next year. So that's my only thing. But anyway, let's move on. Will you play Total War Warhammer, John Belos? Probably not. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that an RTS game? I think I've played a few of the war. No, I played not. It's not Total War. It's Warhammer something else. A friend of mine, I don't know if you guys remember Tom, if you've been around long enough and you remember Tom, him and I would play those games together, but not since then. You know, I haven't really touched that kind of stuff. So, oh, and before I keep going, I'd like to make a mention as well, ladies and gentlemen, this happened last stream, but everyone kept asking the same question over and over again because I wasn't reading it right away. I'm actually going through the list. I scrolled up and I'm scrolling down. So unless I say otherwise, you don't have to just post the same question over and over. I will get to it and I will answer it. It'll just take some time. The more and more you do that, the more spam it is and the harder for me it is to see other people's questions. So that's all I'm just going to say now. Ahead of time, you see, you ask one question, I will read it. I promise, and I'll answer it my best ability, okay? All right, next question. Okay. This is just hate. Hey, DanQ8000, I hope Santa rapes you and makes porn out of you, faggot, and drowns your whole family. Whole spelt incorrectly. In his come useless bitch. By the way, fuck boy, I left a dislike. Okay. Fuck boy. So funny. Oh, man. Oh, my God. How much that hurt me? Guys, I need your help. He made me so sad. He made me so sad. Just kidding. Anyway, let's move on. It's too good, man. It's too good of a day. I live in Canada, and we're in plus temperatures, and for Canadian weather, that's insane. The fact that a lot of the U.S. states and the U.S. cities are getting colder weather than Canada is right now, or at least where I live, it's bonkers. And you got to enjoy that. Anyways, moving on. Are you a duck? Right. Right. No, but I can play one. Nice mug, bro. You know, I don't know how the models do it. What is this chat? Well, I don't know what you mean. I don't know if you mean like, what's wrong with the chat? What's going on with people? And I don't know, but it's a chat. All right. Whoa. Hold on. What happened? Oh my God, hold on. It skipped. I'm going back up. Forgive me. Whoa, there's already quite a few comments. Excuse me. Here we go. Okay. Dan, can you enable Dismemberment in Jedi Knight? It's too late. I beat Jedi Knight yesterday. I'm usually a guy who does straight through Let's Plays, in the game's original state. I don't like to go and I don't like and go ahead and mod a game too much, unless, of course, maybe it's a graphical mod to make it look a little bit better. But other than that, I don't really like to do that kind of stuff. I mean, up next is Jedi Academy, but the reason I'm not playing in Jedi Academy right now is because I got a bunch of games coming out on, I'll be probably getting codes and things for games coming out on Monday or on Tuesday. I might get some later today, but I'll most likely get most of them on Monday. And so I don't want to start Jedi Academy now when I only have one day to work on it. You see what I mean? And then it'll just be kind of left unfinished until I get that done. So I just want to go into it as a noob, you know what I mean? Going in without having played it once, and that way I can keep my momentum going with the game. That makes sense. So, yeah. Anyway, that was kind of not really what you asked. I mean, I did kind of answer it, but I went off on my own thing. Anyway, will you build a house in Fallout 4? I've never been one to really build stuff. I tried it briefly when I played in Fallout, but I didn't really get any further. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't kind of interest me all that much. So I don't know. I don't want to say no, but I don't want to promise anything either. All right. What is the capital of Assyria? I don't know. I don't know. Are you ever going to play Undertale on the channel? Can't say I'm familiar with that. I don't know. You'll have to explain it. I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, I'm going to move on to the next one. Oh, I suppose I could look into it. But is it already out? Is it coming out? Et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. But anyway. Tits or ass? Is there really a preference? Can you really lose when it comes to that? You know what? I'm caught between them. I don't know, man. I wouldn't say no to either. Look at it that way. Already got trolls. Yep, they'll always be, man. I found you know, if you're doing, I found if you have trolls, you're doing something right. So, or I guess actually that's more so haters. Trolls are just like, oh, I'm gonna get a rise out of them. Can't wait. Can't wait. And I'm sure everyone's probably waiting for me to just go, fuck, no, I hate you. You know, like, but you're not. That's not gonna happen. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. So, it kind of comes with the turf, you know. So anyway, you got to get used to it. All right, are you going to do more 2K16? Yeah, I already got that one. Who's your favorite YouTuber? Oh, actually, I like this question. Who's your favorite YouTuber to watch in your free time? There's actually a couple. It all depends on what kind of videos I feel like watching at that time. I'm into a variety of YouTube channels, different kinds. Like I'm into, you know, some gameplay. You know what's funny though? Being a gameplay channel myself, I don't find like I can really enjoy like Let's Plays and whatnot anymore because I'm doing them myself. You know what I mean? You're like, I feel like I don't really need to play them or need to watch them, but there are a few people I'll watch. Like in terms of actual Let's Plays, I like to watch Vash. I remember back in the day before, like kind of when I was starting, I watched a few of his Let's Plays and I really enjoyed him. I'll usually watch him if I feel like watching a Let's Play of a game that I know I'll never play because he's really good. At whatever game he plays, he's pretty funny too. You know, he knows what he's doing. There's no BS when it comes to him. And I feel like he's a super underrated YouTuber, and he's he's small for how long he's been around. He is one of the guys who did walkthroughs and Let's Plays and whatnot back in the day before anybody else. But he kind of got overshadowed, which I don't understand. Vash is pretty damn awesome. He needs more credit than he's got. I have more subscribers than he does last time I checked, so I don't know, but yeah, I like watching Vash. I mentioned this before, but I love basketball, man. I watch, you know, my team's the Raptors, and they're doing really well this season, so I'm really psyched. But I love watching NBA 2K videos as well, and who other better than Chris Smoove? So I really enjoy watching Chris Smoove. Who else? I also really enjoy moto vlogs. You know, where guys go around on their motorcycle and they record events that take place. There's a few people that I enjoy, particularly I like Snowcat. It's funny because he's a local as well. He's from Calgary and I'm from Edmonton, so that's only about a 3-hour drive from here, from where I live. So like I really like him because I can relate to the kind of drivers he has to put up with, and I know, like, I've been to Calgary on many times before, things like that. So it's kind of cool to watch that. There's a few other people out there as well that I watch from time to time. Oh, and for reviews, I go to Angry Joe. Love Angry Joe's content, the way he puts it out. He's the kind of guy where he makes like a 40-minute review, and I can watch the whole thing while being entertained the whole time. Even if I've already played the game, I like to see what his thoughts are on it. And if I agree with it, you know, whatever. Those are usually the top people that I like to watch. But there's always someone else that I'll be like, oh, let's check in and see what he's doing or whatever. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's move on. Dan, remember me? Christian Lee. Your name does sound familiar. Volber's laughing. Okay. It's all good, brother. That was just like, people thought I was pissed at Volber last stream because he was answering some questions for people because I just didn't get to it. He thought he was trying to just help me out. It was totally not malicious, and I knew that, but I was just like, dude, stop. You know what I mean? I got it. Don't worry. But everyone was like tweeting me after the fact. They're like, Dan, what's up with Volber? Why you got so pissed at him? I'm like, no, Volber, I am totally cool. Volber, this dude is like always on he's like one of my most loyal subscribers. And I see him all the time, and he's always got something to bring to the table. So I can never be pissed at him. You know what I mean? So Volber, this is a special message for you, brother. I thank you for being around so long. I appreciate it. But he's always involved in my stuff. So I could never really get mad at anybody like that. You know what I mean? People just, the thing is, even if it seems like it's a dick thing to say or do, it's never intended. A lot of people just don't realize that what they said maybe, maybe taken the wrong way. I always take things with a grain of salt on YouTube because, again, it's like getting a text message, right? You get a text message and it reads a certain way, and you're like, oh, they sound bitchy today. But then how do you know that? Maybe they're just like, maybe they're typing in, oh, I really don't feel like going today. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I just don't feel like it. But it looks like I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? It's all in the text. The text is hard to tell tone. So anyway, no ill will for him. I hope everybody knows that. I don't hold ill will to anybody. Anyway. Oh, wait a minute. No, skipping one. How old are you, Dan? I'm 25. I had a birthday on January 4th this year, 1991. Early 90s, baby. So wish, right? Anyway, where's Farkas? He's in a drawer somewhere. I mean, I suppose I can kind of see where he is. He's usually under the desk. Let me just go quickly check. Hey, Farkas. Dan, let me come. No, I'm sorry. Farkas, shut up. Dan, no, get back here. No, Dan. Sorry, guys. He doesn't behave. Farkas doesn't behave himself. So I got to kind of keep tabs on him. You know what I mean? Anyway. Straight to my balls. Okay, where does 8,000 come from? Sorry, I know you've explained it before, I'm sure. To be honest, yeah, I've explained it a couple times, but people, I think people feel like it's got a lot more meaning than it actually does. Really, it came from an old email, okay? It came from my first email that I ever made. It was stupid as hell. And I don't think it exists anymore, but the email was Dude Dan 1000. Wasn't it lame? I know, but I was only like 7 when I made it. So I thought I was so cool, man. I'm such a dude, you know? It was lame as hell. But I put 1000 in it, right? Then, as years went on, I used that email until eventually I got new emails and whatnot. And then finally it was time YouTube came out, and I was on YouTube. I was watching videos ever since YouTube came out in 2005. But I never made an account till 2007. And I'm like, I'm like, okay, I want to go comment this. Oh, you can't comment unless you make an account. So I'm like, eventually I'm just like, yeah, I don't really feel like making an account. So I went ahead and eventually I'm like, okay, let's make an account. I want to make it something cool. Not something cool, but something that you would always be able to call yourself, and you'd never have to worry about it going out of style kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's exclusive to you. So it's like someone say One Shot Gaming or Backflip Video Gaming or something like that. I mean, that'll work, but you might get tired of it. I feel like I wanted a name that would associate with me. So I'm like, you can't go wrong with DanQ because my first name is Daniel. So Daniel, and then Q Quinn, my last name. So I just kind of abbreviated it together, made it one word. And then I thought back, and for as long, my whole life, my favorite number has been 8. My whole life. That's been my name, my number when I used to play soccer. That's always been my number in soccer. I've used the number like everywhere. And so I decided to take my 1000 because it kind of sounded better than DanQ8. You see what I mean? So I decided to take my 1000 from my old email, and I put the 8 in front of it, DanQ8000. That's literally all it was. I know it sounds simple. That's really all. I'm like, that sounds all right. And it just kind of stuck, and I just kind of rep myself as DanQ8000. Just kind of how it is. All right, next question. In the next NBA game, can you please up the difficulty? You know what? I think I might just do that for when 2K17 comes out. I think I might bump the difficulty up because it did get pretty easy because I got too good for the game. Does that make sense? I think if I bump up the difficulty a little bit, I'll get more experience, more money from it, and more VC, not real money, but in-game money. And therefore I'll be able to upgrade my superstar. So yeah, the thing is I didn't want to change it that late. It was kind of pointless, but I think I might do that for 2K17. It's probably a good idea. Nut shots, Lamau, what's 9 plus 10? 21. Is that still happening? I don't want no ravioli. Fallout or GTA? That's a tough question because both have had significant meaning to me, and I've had such a good time with in my life. I don't know, man. I mean, I probably played GTA longer than Fallout. I played GTA ever since the first one came out in 1997. So when I was too young to be playing it, but I remember playing it at my cousin's house. I played on it for so long, and I remember I'm like, I asked my parents, like, you know, like, would we be able to borrow this? So I go ask Casey. So I went up to him, my cousin. I'm like, Casey, can we borrow this? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I don't play it that much anyway, so yeah, go ahead. So we went in, installed it, played GTA like crazy, Grand Theft Auto, like the original one, for hours and hours and hours. So I'd say I played GTA longer, but the newer Fallout have more memories recent. But I don't know, man. I couldn't say. It's like if you gave me a GTA game and a Fallout game, I will shoot one. I'd be like, no, take me instead. You know what I mean? So anyway, what was your favorite car in Need for Speed? The thing is, I didn't drive every single car in the game. I only drove about 4 or 5 of them. I mean, I could be a fanboy and just go on about what, like, my car, but I like the car. What I did off camera was I built the car that I have. Obviously, my car isn't as modded as the car that I ended up building, but I ended up taking my car and beasting with it and making it look so good. I'm like, this is what my car should look like when I get done with my mods, man. This is what it's going to look like. So I didn't really have a favorite per se, but they're all fantastic cars. Okay. Again, see, remember what I said before, asking the same question. It's the same guy asking about this. I already asked the question, but again, I'm getting to the point probably where before I had mentioned that, but I'm going to say it again. If you ask a question once, just ask it once. I will get to it. If you ask it like 6 or 7 times, doesn't mean I'm skipping it. I'm going by one at a time. And yeah, and I'm going through it, and I will get to it. So anyway. Next up, I joined by accident. Anybody want to play Xbox One games? You joined by accident. Why? You don't want to see me? Oh, just kidding. I'm a hacked account. Oh, no. Do you have a girlfriend? Yeah. Yeah. I've been with her for over 4 years now. So we're actually common law because we've been living together for a long time. So for tax purposes, she is my common law wife. But officially, she's my girlfriend. Yeah, I've been dating for a long time now. All right. Where are you going for your snowboard trip this year? Actually, we're not sure. I'm thinking, I asked my friends, and unfortunately, my one friend won't be back. Like, he's been working out of town for a while. He won't be back until like end of February, so we probably won't be going till the end of February. But I'm thinking we're going to Jasper this year. I think that's what my friend said. The problem is with living in Edmonton, every mountain, it's nearby, sure, but it's a bitch to get there. Like, Jasper's like 4 hours, Banff is like 5 hours. Lake Louise is like 5.5. You know, it all depends on where you're going. But if I lived in Calgary, everything would be an hour and a half away max. So I'd be going like every 2 weeks if I lived in Calgary, but it's just not really all that practical to do it. Got a little overzealous there with that coffee drink. Anyway. Have you ever read comics? Yes. Not many though. Like back when I was a kid, I read Archie comics all the time. But you know, as I met my girlfriend, I was dating my girlfriend. She's a huge comic fan, particularly DC, and she would like bring on some, you know, DC comics, and I'd read a couple of them that she had. But I'm not overly into them as much. But yeah, I have read a few. Can you start a brand new WWE 2K16 career mode, but make a legend who's not in the game? I see what you're saying, but you see how long it took to get where we got before. I mean, it was such a pain in the ass. I don't know if I really should. Like, that would take too much time. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know people. The thing is, I get it. I'm not trying to say. I know that obviously means you guys love WWE, but the thing is, there's a new WWE game every single year. So if you do too much WWE, it kind of gets a little stale, especially with the way 2K's been handling it, or getting them to getting Ukes to handle it. So just a few things that I found questionable. Anyway, what's your favorite Fallout game? Probably Fallout 3 for sure. What's your favorite game ever? You know what? I've gone over this a few times. I don't really have a favorite game. There are so many games over the years that I would have considered my favorite, but things change so much. You know, you get so many games, and then it's like one of those things like, oh, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? it's not hard when you like so many equally. You see what I mean? There's just so many games. It's a tough question to answer. I mean, like I said, probably one of my go-to top favorites is Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. I put in more time to that, and probably half my life probably went into that game. Like, it's insane. Let's see. Next question. Two of the same questions in a row. It's your favorite game. Dan, what is your thoughts on Star Wars Episode 8 being delayed? Was it delayed? I didn't hear anything about that. I thought it was coming out in 2017, like Rogue One or whatever was coming out this year, and then Episode 8 was coming out in 2017. But if it got delayed, I don't know how delayed it would have got. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can wait. I'm not one of those people who's like, no, I need it now. You know, I can wait. It's all good. I mean, it is what it is. So. Just a moment. I just want to check something, see how long we've been going for. Everything seems pretty cool. I'm a little askew, though. It sucks, though, because what YouTube broadcasts is like so much shittier than what I'm actually broadcasting in. So if you actually saw like the camera, like, you know, I'm a little off, actually. Trying to get a little more centered. Somehow getting centered. There we go. Okay. Let's keep going here. What's up, Dan? What up, no? Unsub the Fine Bros. Nice, the Star Wars sleeve. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. Everyone's like, I've had so many people go, oh, Dan. Like my friends, like in family. Not so much friends, more so family. But they're just like, oh. And then I'm like, you guys come from a generation where tattoos were kind of taboo. You know, it wasn't. Now it's very common. So I know what I'm doing. Like I had I had one guy who was like, oh, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. No, I don't. Because they're like, why are you getting a Star Wars sleeve? It's just a movie. I'm like, it's not just a movie to me, though. Everyone thinks, oh, you just get it because you like it. Sure, I like it, but Star Wars is special. Star Wars I love. And I'm going to explain why I want to get a Star Wars sleeve. Yes, I'm a huge fan of it. But there's a deeper reason. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 5 years old. That's when I watched the original trilogy, was when I was 5. In 1996 was the first time I ever saw the trilogy. I remember thinking it was the coolest thing on the planet. I was just in awe. I remember one day my dad brought home a gift, and it was the original. It was the Star, like, you know how they remade the trilogy with the what is it, the digital enhanced version or whatever, the special edition one that came out in like 97 or 98 or whatever, and they added all those extras. Well, I remember going to the theater. They replayed that and they put it in theaters. I remember going to see it in theaters again, and I remember preferring the original trilogy. And I remember my dad came home with a trilogy tape set, like a VHS trilogy. I don't know if you guys had that of the original. Hold on, actually, let me 1 second. This is what I used to do. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, just gonna go ahead and drag this away. All right. Star Wars original trilogy VHS. I'm going to show you what it looked like back in the day. Boom, right here. I'm going to go ahead and, all right, let's see. I should be able to swap the Hangout. Just a minute. Deep. It's been a long time since I've used this. Sorry. 1 second. Where was it? Control room. Screen share. Here we go. So I'm briefly going to showcase this for you guys. You guys can see it. Yeah, this is what I owned, the original trilogy. I remember I watched these. God, how many times was it, man? It was, oh my God. I honestly, I can't tell you how often I actually watched this. I mean, it was whenever I felt like I wanted to watch something, you know, like when I was sick, when I was bored, when I was, you know, anything, I was just always watch these trilogies. And it's just meant so much to me. So many memories, you know, growing up. And I've lived with Star Wars my whole life. And it's just a huge impact on me, which is why I really want to do that. Why did you become a YouTuber? You know, it all started with watching other folks. People that I watched, I mentioned this before, people that I watched before aren't around anymore. The guys that I'm like, oh, cool. You know what I mean? I think I could do that. They weren't around anymore. You know what I mean? So I saw people playing these games. I'm like, I would love to make my own versions of it and do my own thing. And eventually, it just kind of grew into commentary. First started non-commentary, then I went into commentary, and then I started doing other things, and it just kind of hit off. It was just a hobby for a long, long time until eventually companies came to me and signed me up, and it became a bit of a job. I wasn't getting paid much at the time until eventually things got better and better and better, to the point where I didn't need a full-time job anymore. In fact, it was stupid to keep the full-time job because YouTube was doing better. And the thing was, the combined income, the one job was actually costing me money because the income I was making wasn't worthy enough from the full-time job, the day job. It was actually costing me more in tax when I was getting taxed. I was actually having to pay more because I had two sources of income. And the work I was doing on that side of things was so stupid, and it busted your ass all the time. So I ended up leaving it, and it was the best decision I've ever made. So yeah, it's been a great few years, man. I love YouTube game. I don't think I could ever leave it. It's just who I am. Anyway, I like your haircut. How's it done? Actually, I didn't get a haircut. It's just down today. You know, it's just, instead of putting it up, I kind of just went to the side because I have good hair. I have really thick hair, so I can pretty much do just about whatever I want with my hair. So. And every time I go to like a barber or something or a stylist or whatever, they're always like, "Oh my God!" And they're just like this, and I'm just like, "Okay, I know, it's nice, thank you." So, yeah, I don't know how it's really done. It's just how my hair is, It's just kind of a normal cut. I don't have anything special right now. In fact, I'm about to get a cut pretty soon. It's getting longer, so. Okay, hey Dan, what are your PC specs? If you want to see the full video, I do have it. On my channel, so if you want to go check it out, you can. But the main specs that you'd want to know, I have an Intel 4790K, Intel i7 4790K, the Devil's Canyon. I have two GTX 980s, NVIDIA GTX 980s with SLI, and I have 16 gigs of RAM at 4 gigahertz. So it's pretty solid. The thing is, I got it built a little while ago now, but it's considered out of date already, which is annoying with PCs. But what I did was I got an Obsidian, the Corsair Obsidian 900D case, and if you go look it up, it's massive. It like comes up to my desk, right? But I got that size case for future builds. Everyone's like, "Wow, kind of small. You don't have enough parts to really fill that. Why'd you get such a big case?" And I'm like, I got it because I want to keep the case for a long time. It's easier to replace parts in a big ass case like this and build a much bigger rig as time goes on than a smaller one. You see what I mean? So if I wanted to go super crazy with like 4 graphics cards, it's cake with this case. So everyone was like, "I don't get it." Well, that's why. So do you have an estimated time to when you play Star Wars: The Old Republic again? Here's the thing with Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm glad someone asked me this. Star Wars: The Old Republic, there's a couple things with it. Number one, as I had mentioned, there was a lot of problems with recording. It kept crashing. What I ended up doing, though, was installing the older graphics card, or sorry, the old graphics driver for my graphics card, and like the one that was prior to the one I was using, and it seemed to be a lot more stable. However, I did test it with other games, and certain games crash more than others. There's certain games I can play no problem. I never have to worry about them. But Lego crashed a few times. I managed to get it working, but Lego ended up working, completely crashing. Star Wars: The Old Republic was one of those other games as well. And the other thing with Star Wars: The Old Republic, there's so much going on all the time, is that I don't give a shit about the story. I could barely care. Like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, honest to God, there's so much shit going on at once. There's a lot of, you got people coming in, you got all this. You kind of get derailed sometimes, and it's just kind of frustrating. So I don't know when I want to, I don't want to leave it hanging. I don't like quitting games, but if I can't get it to record, if I'm not having a great time, I don't know if I will, but I'm not saying I'm done. I'm just saying I can't promise a time when I'm going back, because Sir got me that 60-day subscription. I don't want to put that. I don't want to waste that. So I want to try and do it, but it's just kind of nut showish right now, and I'm not sure really what's going on with the Old Republic. So I don't know. Anyway, what game has been most enjoyable that you've played on or off your channel? Most enjoyable game, to be honest, I know this sounds funny, but NBA 2K. That was the easiest game for me to sit down and play for hours. Like, I do 4 or 5 hour sessions, at night, just playing a ton of footage. I would always have so much footage ready for that. Other games would be like, I'm not really feeling it. But NBA, I'm like, oh, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to dunk. I'm ready to take some threes. I'm ready to, cross some bitches over. I'm ready for story, That was one of my most enjoyable games. In that game, I actually sometimes do sit on my off time and just play, whether I just do some regular, exhibition matches or exhibition games or whatever, scrimmages or whatever you call them. Or if I do just, maybe my career just start shooting buckets or whatever the hell I want to do, I'll just go ahead and do that. So I'd love to see you get a new tattoo. Jesus. I'd love to see you get a new tattoo. You could proc pretty much anything. Thanks, bro. Yeah, we're going to see how that works. It's like I said, it's going to be done in a few sessions. The first thing to be done, I didn't say this, but Vader's going to be up top. He's going to be kind of behind the Emperor. And it'll go down into Boba, who's this is all kind of on the Death Star, right? And Boba's kind of like getting his orders, so to speak. And then, yeah, we're going to have maybe some stormtroopers around here. It's all going to cover the whole sleeve. It's going to be a full sleeve. It's going to be so dope. I can't wait. Let's see. What's next? Can you do a podcast with some of your friends on YouTube? Actually, I'm glad someone asked me this. Jesus, I need a bib. God. Sorry, I'm drinking like a maniac. Anyway, I don't have my own podcast. However, I will be featured on a podcast. I believe, 1 minute, let me go find some information. Bear with me here, guys, as I wipe the coffee from my face. Just a minute here. Okay, the podcast is called New Game Plus, and basically what it is these guys go in and they play retro games, and they play a retro game. They play it for about a week, and then they talk about it in their podcast the following week later. Well, they asked me, they're like, Dan, what's one of your favorite games from childhood that you can remember? And there was a game that I don't really mention on YouTube that I played on the N64 when I was a kid. And so I'll be featured on that podcast, and that'll be going live. I think they said they're recording it on the 13th. So a week from today, we're going to be recording it, but it'll go live, I believe, on the 15th. I might post something on my social media, but I'll be interviewed on that, and we'll be chatting and discussing the game. And it'll be exciting to check that out, actually. I haven't been on a podcast or some sort of discussion show in a long time, so it'll be cool to be on that, and I'll definitely showcase that for you guys. It's going to be, I think they're about 30 to 40 minutes long, so you can go ahead and check that out, and I'll obviously post links for that when we find out more. So anyway, that's what's going on for that. Will you shave your beard for charity? I don't know. I've never thought of it. I mean, maybe I could. It's been... Honest to God, I mean, I've cut this part and I left just the mustache 2 years ago, but I haven't seen my face completely unshaven in coming up on 3 years now. It's kind of just been a staple of who I am, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, but if for charity, it seems like the right thing to do, and it'll always grow back, but we'll see what happens with that. Why are you so sexy? I don't know, man. What the fuck? Star Wars tattoo? Are you a nerd? Oh my God. I'm sorry. That's pretty pathetic, dude. What's nerdy nowadays, really? Honestly. Oh, God, so stupid. Honestly, you can call it, you know what? Maybe I am, but I don't think nerd is the same thing as what it used to be. What the fuck? That's so stupid. My God. I'll do what I want. Like, you've seen my videos and you know I like Star Wars. Like, have you seen, like, so many people get tattoos of their favorite shows and comic books and movies and shit. I'm sorry it won't be the same kind of tattoo as your no regrets tattoo or your barbed wire tattoo that goes around your arm or any of that shit. Or the tribal. You probably would get a tribal tattoo, right? You get a nice tribal tattoo. Yeah. Let's not start about that shit. Okay, the same question. Are you gonna watch Batman vs Superman? Most likely. My girlfriend loves Batman, obviously, so we'll probably go check that out. Why did the Fine Bros screw up? I don't know. It's not that they screwed up. It's that they got caught. That's the thing that everyone's misunderstanding. They're like, oh, they made a mistake. No, they didn't. This is how they really think. Like, as soon as they retracted their apology, what do you think they're doing? They're back to scheming. The thing is, they just got caught. They would have gotten away with it if people weren't, that people aren't stupid, right? So they're going to catch on and they're not going to put up with it. So Yeah. If you had one YouTuber to play with, who would it be? I don't know, man. The thing is, I'd like to play with YouTubers who I'm kind of similar to. I wouldn't want to be overshadowed by anybody in particular. I really like collaborating with Center Strain 01. He's a buddy of mine on YouTube here. Him and our channels are kind of similar in size, so we kind of chat with each other whenever we need each other's advice, or we just want to chat and find out some information or whatever, or we need to just want to collab on a game. There haven't been too many co-op games lately, but the last game we played together was Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and we just played the campaign. Center Strain's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life. He's awesome. You guys got to check out his channel, Center Strain 01. Sweet dude, man. He's like one of the nicest, wholehearted dudes you'll ever meet. It's honestly, I could not give more props to that guy. He's a hard worker. So anyway, let's move on. What you already asked. So ask, yeah, am I accepted? I think you spelled accepted wrong. The wrong accepted. You meant to say ACCEPTED instead of EXCEPTED. So like you're saying you're accepted, like as in from the rules. I'm accepted from the rules. Or I don't even think accepted in that spelling is a word. Anyway, already answered that question. Have you tried to play Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies? Okay, funny thing, everyone loves the zombies on Treyarch games, or well, they call it the Black Ops ones anyway. I don't. I think zombie games get kind of repetitive. I like a lot of zombie games. Here's the thing. I like a lot of zombie games. But the way Black Ops does it, while a lot of people love that kind of thing, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not a huge fan of zombies. I can only play for a few minutes. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm done. What's your favorite COD? You know what? My favorites were probably Call of Duty 2 and Modern Warfare. Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Those were my two favorites. Call of Duty 2 was one of the best ones because it was still the World War II, and I played the living crap out of it. And Modern Warfare was such a good game, man. It was so good. And it had a solid campaign, amazing multiplayer. Although Modern Warfare 2 I played a lot as well, but I'd say Modern Warfare 1 and Call of Duty 2 are my two favorites there. Do you still watch hockey? I never really watched hockey, but I mean, living in Edmonton, we kind of support the Oilers as best we can, but our team has just been so trash these last few years. We're always at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, we have McDavid now. He's quite an insanely impressive dude, and he's like, but he broke his collarbone. He's been out. So basically, there's nothing we can do this season. I know we're not going to make the playoffs this season, but maybe next season. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But it's funny because we're building this brand new arena. It's going to be insane. There's this whole new district being built, and the arena they've been playing in for all these years. It's the same arena that we won the Stanley Cup, that crazy Stanley Cup run we had in the late 80s. And it was just like the area is very old. The area is kind of ghetto. If you go near the area, it's not the best area in the world. But they're moving it downtown, actually downtown instead of less north. It's going to be more downtown. They're going to have this massive hub. It's going to be so impressive. There's going to be like these crazy luxury high-rise apartments. And there's going to be all this crazy there's going to be a theater in there, crazy shopping district. It's going to be so insane. It's going to be like a plaza of stuff. And then everything's going to be connected to this new place. It's called Rogers Place. That's the new arena. It's going to be pretty crazy. But it's funny that the owner of the team's like, I'll move them if you don't get us to build a new you don't build a new arena for my team. And it's funny because I think it's hilarious because, dude, like obviously the taxpayer, us, we have to pay for the arena. It comes out of our taxes. And the team's trash. They're terrible, right? So it's frustrating, but you know what? If everything helps and the team end up doing good, it could do worlds of good for the city. You know what I mean? So anyway, more dude, keeps putting it. More 2K16. I don't know. Again, I'm just gonna skip it. How are you today? I'm fantastic. Thank you very much for asking. Who's your all-time favorite wrestler? I have two all-time favorite wrestlers. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Those two were my childhood. They were like my idols growing up, those two. I've watched almost every special on Stone Cold and The Rock you can imagine. Every event with those guys. Oh man, it's just amazing. I love those guys. Let's see. Where do you live? Like, I kind of mentioned it a couple times, but I'm in Edmonton, Alberta in Canada. Do you remember the first time you got drunk? Yeah, I do. I was 17, and I was with my friends, and it was pretty nuts because like I remember we went like hard like 3 days in a row. And when you're a lightweight back then, when you're a lightweight, you know, it's just you take a beer or two and you're done for the night, right? You're good. You got a nice quality buzz the whole night. And it's hilarious. But the thing is, I want to make a mention as well. Since I live in Canada, the place I live in Canada anyway, the drinking age is 18 here. So it's not like it was too bad. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun times. Ever gonna play Fallout again? Yeah, I am. Like, I mentioned this at the end of I mentioned this at the end of the Let's Play. That's what I mean. It's so funny when people like see these things, but I address them in the videos they're talking about. But anyway, yeah, the thing is, I said I'm gonna go back once there's new content. The first season pass content comes out in March. I went back briefly for one video, and I'm like, there really is not a whole lot here. And a lot of people recommended, they're like, Dan, load that one save where you chose to side with the Brotherhood and side with the Institute instead. And I'm like, that's an option. I don't know if I really want to go all the way back there. But I don't know. I was debating on it, but I feel like new content is better for me. So I don't know. I can guarantee I'll be back in March when they have new DLC for it. So what's your name? Really? Okay. Dan, play GTA or more Need for Speed? Well, Need for Speed's finished. GTA I pretty much played fully. The game's been out for a long time. I want GTA to come out with a new story expansion. If they did that, if Rockstar came out with a new story expansion, kind of like with Grand Theft Auto 4, you know, Lost and Damned, and you know, Ballad of Gay Tony, those kind of things. Oh, that'd be fantastic. I'd be all over that. Dan, will you and your girlfriend and Tara ever get married? I would definitely say so. Will you play more 2K if you are on? If you, what? You play more 2K, and if you are, go to the Hawks. Oh, so you're saying, can you please play more 2K, and if you do, go to the Atlanta Hawks? Well, you don't get to choose who you go to, really. I mean, it was funny. What happened was, at the end of my season, I ended up simming a couple seasons so I can get into the Hall of Fame. I ended up getting into the Hall of Fame. Once my contract with the Hornets was up, I had to re-sign. I was a free agent. The Hornets wanted me back, but the Golden State Warriors were going to pay me more and give me more time, more minutes. So I'm like, looking at this, I'm like, sweet. So I picked them. I'm sure I could have picked the Hawks, but the Hawks were way down low. You know what I mean? They were way low. They didn't have as much interest in me as these other teams did. So it's all dependent on what happens. Like, if you guys remember, like, when you get drafted, that is so fun. I love the fact that it's like truly random. You can get drafted to any team that really needs you. You know what I mean? So I got drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. I think that's fantastic, but hopefully when 2K17 comes out, I don't get drafted to any of the teams I've already played. I'd like to try a new team out, you know what I mean? So anyway. What headset do you have? I have Astro A50s. They're really solid headphones, except they have an issue with the volume control. I found like when you turn the volume up, it'll sometimes turn down. You turn the volume down, it'll turn it up. It's kind of broken. Apparently, it's a common problem, and many people have had this problem in the past. Oh my god, dude. Fuck. What console do you play? The thing is, people assume I have one console. No, I play everything. I have every console. I have well, PC, obviously, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4. I even have a Wii U sitting in my living room. But Nintendo's such a pain in the ass to deal with that it's this bad news bears dealing with them. So anyway, how much do you make a month? I don't share that kind of stuff online. Happy birthday, Luis. Your birthday today. Do you like Half-Life? Wow, you must not have been around that long. I love Half-Life. It's one of my favorite game series. Why don't you play Total War? Because I just don't want to. Why is that such a big thing? Like, I don't get, like, I don't have to play every game. You know, just I don't necessarily like every game. It's just I play what I want to play. Obviously, I like getting suggestions, but if I don't want to play it, it's just that I don't want to play it. You know what I mean? It's nothing personal, of course. I already answered that. Play Skyrim. I already did. I've already beat that completely. I got all DLCs done, all that kind of stuff. That series is kind of old. Jesus Christ. Oh, and this guy needs to go, man. That's bad. Okay. Bye-bye. There we go. This guy's bringing back with racism and stuff like that, so I had to get rid of that. It's one thing until, you know, once they bring out the hate speech and shit. Nope, you're gone. Sorry. Are you single? No, I'm not. Like I had mentioned before, you must. Some people join a little later, so it's all good. Series. That's what I mean. Like a lot of people like come in and see, oh, you know, oh crap, what just happened? Hold up, something happened. Hello, sorry. Are we okay? Sorry, something went out there. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, sorry, my screen kind of just shut down for a minute. I don't know if the stream shut down or not. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, the channel just kind of grew because I put out series that people wanted to see, and they just kind of caught on. So you develop a following for a certain series. Like I think Knights of the Republic was a huge one for me, and it just kind of went off from there. And yeah, and there was just other games as well that became really popular for me. Like Fallout became popular. You know, Need for Speed games have been quite popular. So yeah, it's all dependent on what kind of what I post out. Sorry, I'm just kind of worried because it looked like my frame rate is really shit right now. Well, not mine, but the stream is really shit. Could just be on my end, but I don't know. Let's see. Just give me a moment. I'm just gonna quickly see. I'm gonna open this in a new page. Just make sure the stream is running okay. Just kind of want to see. It's really fucking choppy. Whoa. All right. Everything, the frame rate is bad though, or is that just me? Like, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna ask you right now. Is the frame rate trash for you? Hold on. It's bad. Okay. Shit. What the hell happened? I didn't even do anything. Because for me, it looks fine. So I may have to restart the stream. It looks like on my end, it looks like it's, yeah, like 7 frames per second, like Buddy said. Yeah. Good God. I don't want to lose my place, but I might need to restart something. Because it broke down for a minute. Just a minute. Let me just I'll be back in a second. Let me try. Hold on. How's that? Is it better? I think it's still the same. No, it's still the same. All right, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. This never happens. Just a second.